So there is a fact-finding report on the allegation of discrimination of non-Muslims and conversion of non-Muslims to Islam at the Jamia Millia University that has sparked a massive debate. Now, the fact-finding committee claims that there has been bias against non-Muslims in Jamia. Let's, in fact, go across to our colleague Sagarika, who has details of this fact-finding committee report. Now, Sagarika, what is it that this report says?
It's a 64-page fact-finding committee report with testimonies of victims who deposed before this committee. Now, let me just give you some context to this report, Deepti, that we've accessed. Now, this report, in fact, was constituted by an NGO called the Call for Justice. This NGO came ahead and got this fact-finding committee constituted after they claimed that they received vital information in respect of Jamia Millia Islamia, presently a minority institution, regarding discrimination of non-Muslims and conversion of non-Muslims to Islam and the harassment being done to non-Muslims. And they claim that on the 4th of August in 2024, a demonstration was held at Jantar Mantar by a scheduled caste and Balmiki Samaj members in support of one employee whose name is Ram Nivas, who was being harassed and discriminated in Jamia Millia because of being a non-Muslim. Then a panel is formed which has about 6 members, including a former judge of the Delhi High Court. Now, let me tell you about the testimonies, because the testimonies are very, very chilling. One of the victim who deposed before this, an assistant professor, told the panel, and let me just bring you to the operative part. So, this professor has claimed before the panel that she was discriminated against, and there were members of the faculty who used to force her to convert. Now, what is the person saying here? The victim saying the faculty members and PhD scholars started impressing upon her that she should convert to Islam, and Islam was safer for women. Since she was a Hindu religion and Hindu customs were criticized. The news and efforts to convert her to Islam had failed and had reached everybody, and that is why her promotion was stopped. So just imagine, here is a faculty of Jamia, a PhD scholar who has deposed before this panel, who says that there were constant attempts made to convert her to Islam, and her promotion and her career progression was stopped because she refused to convert to Islam, and Hindu religion and Hindu customs, as per her testimony, she says, were constantly criticized. Another very shocking part from one of her testimony is that if somebody does not succumb to the pressure of conversion, he or she is harassed, and this is a practice in Jamia Millia Islamia, that they don't allow non-Muslims to progress in their career, and they expect women like her, this is another very damning part, they expect women like her to become mistresses of some Muslim faculty members. Can you believe it? Here there is a testimony of a faculty member who is a non-Muslim in Jamia Millia Islamia, who, as per this fact-finding committee, in her testimony has claimed that if you refuse to convert to Islam, then there is pressure being put on you to become a Muslim faculty member's mistress, and for this they keep putting psychological pressure on such persons to become Muslims. Whenever she tried to seek help of some Muslim senior professor, he would start talking to her about converting to Islam. So that is testimony number 1, and there are multiple such testimonies. Let me take you through testimony number 2. Now, in this testimony, there is another non-Muslim faculty member who claims that there were Muslim faculty members who opposed to this faculty member wearing Hindu symbols like, say, tilak or kalava, and they say that the term, okay, so let me just take you through the part, the operative part. Say for example, he decided to lodge an FIR for the discrimination he faced on the ground of being a member of the SC/ST community, and told the HOD about his intention. The VC thereafter constituted a committee to go into the matter and persuaded him not to lodge an FIR. It is only after such a long struggle that he was granted space for sitting in the university. So here there is another victim who has claimed that another non-Muslim teaching faculty of JMI, who testified that due to his being a non-Muslim, he was grossly discriminated from his other Muslim colleagues. The facilities that were given to other Muslim colleagues, like sitting place, a cabin, furniture, were not given to him for a long period of time after joining the university, whereas Muslim faculty members who joined were given all the facilities. Imagine, there is another victim who has deposed before the committee, who has claimed that basic facilities like a space to sit, some furniture. Even that wasn't provided, and this was the kind of discrimination they faced. And when they decided to go ahead and file an FIR, they were dissuaded against doing the same. So, and the victim here claims that he is a part of the SC/ST community. Then there were also a deputy. Then they said the cabin was again allotted only after 6 months, after persistent struggle, when later he was made an assistant controller of the examination, and in that capacity was allotted a cabin for administration work. The staff of the examination branch started publicly commenting that how could a deputy registrar cabin be given to a kafir. So the word kafir was also heard, and that is why there are multiple such testimonies and accounts or non-Muslim professors and faculty members who have come out and have spoken about the kind of discrimination they have faced. Then in another part, this is another testimony that has now come in, where many tribal students who were unable to bear the harassment had to leave the university. Some convert Muslims more forcefully, try to influence the students as well as teachers for conversion into Islam. So this is another account coming in, and here there is another faculty member who's claiming that when she applied for PhD with Jamia Millia Islamia in the year 2005, she was denied admission despite her being a junior research fellow, and despite the fact that as per the UGC guidelines, a junior research fellow cannot be denied admission to PhD. After denial of admission, she wrote a strong letter to UGC and to the JMI, and after that she was given a seat in the PhD program. In 2004, she applied for the post of assistant professor. She came to know that interviews were being held for this post in 2006. She did not receive any intimation about her interview, but learning that the interviews for the post were being held, she went to the JMI establishment branch and told the clerk that she had not received her interview letter. The clerk, a Muslim, did not listen to her. So being deprived of an opportunity, not being given a seat in PhD programs, these are the kind of accounts that are coming in, in this report. A shocking report, like I told you, 64-page report, multiple testimonies where faculty members have deposed before a fact-finding panel, an independent fact-finding panel by an NGO called Call for Justice, where faculty members have come out and have said that they have faced harassment for being non-Muslims.
And these are chilling details, Sagarika, to say the least. A very, very exhaustive report that has been accessed by us here at Times Now. And Sagarika, remember, just read through some excerpts of that tell you how possibly this is just the beginning of a lot more that possibly could tumble out. Sagarika, I thank you for the moment.